Welcome back to Houselights, your one-stop shop for everything you need to hear about this week in the world of entertainment. As always, I'm your host, Liz Noss, and this week, our beautiful co-host, Claire Donahoe, is not here, but we do have our amazing, wonderful GA reporter, Gabby Erie. Are you excited to be here?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's actually a lie. She told me she was really nervous before we started this recording, so I just want to put you on blast.
Okay, so fun fact, I've actually been waiting an entire year until you'd invite me back again, so don't diss on my name.
Okay, amazing, wonderful. Last time we talked about girl code and female rage, and I think this time we're going to talk a little bit about the opposite of that, which is love. We're going to talk about love. Which is in it's actually, Gabby, will you marry me?
No. I've got an article, dude, and I can't. I'm sorry, I'm busy.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
it's awkward now.
Cut the camera.
We're done.
Just kidding, guys. We're going to talk about romance movies. And. Sorry, that was such a stupid intro. Oh my god. It wasn't even planned at all. Anyways, we're going to talk about romance movies. And the one note that I wrote down for today, and I think that's why we're going so crazy, the one note that I wrote down today was romance movies. Oh, no.
Fall is the season of romance, period. Agree? Question mark.
So, do you agree or not? Is fall romantic? I think it is, personally.
I think spring's romance.
Here's the thing, but I feel like in Michigan, where we're filming this beautiful podcast, you know, for our international listeners, we don't really have a lot of spring, I feel like. I feel like we go from, like, very, very cold, like, wintry, to, like, summer really, really quick. Maybe there's, like, a day of spring. And Michigan State just feels alive again.
So then we get one day of romance, and that's it. I think that's kind of sick.
We have to fit it all into that one day.
Yes, exactly. See, I once read, like, a poem where it was all, like...
super literate and, like,
yeah, I'm, like,
smart.
I'm super, like, underground with my poems.
We're not, like, really like that on Houselights. we don't really read.
Okay, hey, you do journalism.
You think I read these articles?
They're making anybody editor-in-chief nowadays.
They're just letting anybody be editor-in-chief. Anyways, continue. Your thought. You read a poem.
Okay, so it was a poem, and it was pretty funny, where it was like, spring is the blossoming of love and romance, and then winter, everybody gets divorces. Because it's the death of spring.
Right.
I guess.
I would say, but isn't winter technically cuffing season? Because, like, you don't go out anymore, like, you're not having your hot girl summer, and then it's, like, there's really nothing to do. So then, like, in winter, you just, like, want somebody to, like, cuddle under a blanket with and, like, watch a movie.
But I feel like nowadays I'm seeing more people be like, please, somebody cuff me up for winter, than people actually being cuffed up for winter. Like,
that's so true.
Like, have you been on MSU's Yik Yak?
Oh, it is the worst place in the world.
All I see is
it's
people
the horniest place in the world. 10,000%. Like, I've never seen more, like, depraved messages than on our MSU Yik Yak of just being like, just need a baddie. It's worse than that, but I want to keep it Houselights, like, approved.
I posted once on Yik Yak, and it was for an article. I was like, does anybody have, like, if you guys have experienced this at all, please contact me. Like,
experience what?
Talk.
Cuffing season?
Why, yes, exactly.
Why, yes, of course. Horniness? Yes, of course. Do you guys know about this?
Have you guys ever, like, gone through puberty, maybe? Have you thought about that before?
Hit me up if you are. I'm writing a C News article.
That was exactly what it was.
Okay, yeah.
And then somebody DM'd me, and they were like, hey, cutie, and I was like, I am asking you about an article on housing.
I am on the clock.
I am quite literally on the clock. And you were messaging me over an anonymous app saying that I'm a cutie. I don't even know who you are. You were just yellow bus emoji. That's it.
Was this... And they don't know who you are either. Because you're just like another emoji.
Well, but they could sense my aura, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. They could be like, oh my god, she a Yik Yak baddie. And they were like, ding, getting into these DMs.
Oh my God.
Well,
Green
did they have
unicorn.
housing issues, or did we not get that far?
We didn't get that far.
So what season was this part of?
That was fall.
Oh my gosh, you just pulled in the meaning of our podcast.
Okay, we can cut the cameras. We're done now. We did it.
So, all right, guys, thanks for listening to Houselights this week. But yeah, fall's a very romantic season. I feel like I like to curl up with a hot beverage, maybe a hot cider.
I can get down to a hot cider.
Maybe some popcorn, and watch a little romance movie. And specifically, literally the only reason I feel like this is because, one, it's colder, and I'm like, oh, I'm so lonely.
Go on, Yik Yak.
And just go on Yik Yak. And then, two, When Harry Met Sally is a fall movie. To the highest extent, which is my favorite romance movie. I was literally just thinking about this movie the other day, and that's why this podcast episode is, like, happening. Because it's one of my favorite. And you've never seen it.
I've never seen that. I've seen, like, a lot of other romance movies, except for When Harry Met Sally. My brother nags on me about it all the time.
It's a classic. It's like a friends to lovers. They have known each other for like 12 years, and she's a journalist, by the way, in the movie, so. I don't know, there's just like a little added extra for me. I'm like, ooh. But yeah, they like met when they were both moving to New York from Chicago, because they were the only two people that they knew were moving to the city, so they did a little road trip, and then they ended up like, not being connected anymore, and then like a couple years later, they reconnect, and then every few years they run into each other, and then they're like best friends for like 2 years, and they fall in love.
Okay, but Claire...
It's like a slow burn.
But Claire, fly high, said that it was like... She said it was like weird for some reason. What was weird about it? Or they were toxic or something?
Yeah, I guess, see, here's the thing. She said that Harry and Sally are toxic because they go out with other people, but I feel like that's just like how life goes.
Yeah.
You can be friends with people and not know that you should be with them because you're wrapped up in other people. But I think another reason is because like when they end up and when they start to like be together, like the first time they sleep together, he's like, I'm out, because he got scared of like their friendship turning. And so she's like Sally's just kind of like, what, dude? Like, you just slept with me because I was sad about my ex? Because apparently he was, like, when they reconnect for the final time, they both just got broken up with, like, recently.
Okay.
And so he's always sad about his ex, but she never is. And then finally one night she's super sad. He, like, kind of swoops in. They end up, like, sleeping together. And then he gets really freaked out by it. But you know what? That's just, like, not to generalize a gender, but like that's kind of just men. I feel like that's like kind of realistic.
Yeah,
is like, not that like every man uses women when they're feeling depressed, but like I think that men just don't know the moment.
Yeah,
they're not reading the room.
The timing's not great.
And so I think that, I don't know.
Well, I also
think
feel
it's
like
realistic.
I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, that's what I was.
And they
about
end
to
up
say.
together in the end, like both being in love. So it's like, yeah, there's like toxic moments, but I feel like that's like real, and you don't see a lot of like real romance movies, and I feel like that's like, I don't know, toxic and realistic, sort of the same thing sometimes.
It's a very like, unfortunately,
the
line is like kind of just very blurred on that one. That's what I was gonna say. It feels like not necessarily like fully toxic. It just feels human.
Yeah, and you know we're very philosophical on Houselights. And, you know, human nature is inherently toxic sometimes. And sometimes you just have to let it be before we can be fully healthy.
Just like John Lennon would say.
I read that in a poem. Just kidding. Can't read. Just kidding, never read. But yeah, tell me some of your favorite romance movies.
Okay, so I was dissing on it the other day, but I do really love 13 Going on 30.
That's good.
Hot take. I do think it is a good film when it comes to romance. I'm trying to think of my other, like, top
Mark Ruffalo is pretty cute in that. He's pretty cute in that.
Please, I'm so in love with him.
He's just like a little photographer boy, right?
He's just a little photographer boy. What can you do about him, you know?
You know.
13 Going on 30. There was another one that was just on my mind. Oh, Little Women. love.
Is that technically a romance movie though?
I think it can.
There's like part of it is romance.
I think a major aspect of it is romance, but I don't think it necessarily would categorize it as romance. Yes, Liz?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I have a question. It depends on what romance you're paying attention to in the movie, because you have your Joe and Lori and your Amy and Lori. So what part of it screams romance to you? And this is very important to me.
I think both do.
Okay.
Because I think Amy and Lori are the romance, but I think not
Crazy.
even.
That's insane. Sorry.
Don't be a hater. But not even.
You're crazy.
Not even digging into Joe and Lori as a romantic couple, but Joe's struggles with romance throughout the entire film make it, in my mind, that it is a romance film, even if her, experience with romance isn't the center point. Although I do kind of hate that she married whatever the guy's name is at the end.
Well, we don't know. Technically, I mean, she does. It's the book. So, but I like that guy. He's there for her. He's not Timothée Chalamet. Not everyone can be Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, no,
and honestly, Timothée Chalamet's character is just so needy throughout the entire movie. Yeah, he's just so. I don't know how else.
No,
to
he is kind of a baby about it.
He's kind of a baby about it,
and
that's why him and Amy are perfect for each other. Sorry, I'm not saying that I'm an Amy hater, because I do think that that's kind of a red flag when people are Amy haters, but I think that I'm an Amy hater for the right reasons, in that she's just that was really good. Were you in theater in high school? Oh my god, that was so scary. What you just did with your lip there was like, oh my god, she's gonna punch me. Chat, did we see that?
That was me holding my lip in so I wouldn't start laughing. That wasn't intended to be.
I thought that it was like an acting, like
no,
a character
I was giving
choice.
them the shake of the head, and then my lips started quivering because I was about to laugh at myself.
That's super narcissistic.
Hey, what do you mean by that?
Anyways, so Amy is just sort of a whiner. I don't think that, because people are like, oh, Joe's the best because she's wanting to go out and do things, but I just kind of think Amy's a whiner. But I also get it because she was in the shadow of Joe her entire life. I don't know. I just think that Joe and Lori were besties, but besties can't always be together forever, because sometimes maybe you're just too much like that person to be together. And I think that's sort of a Joe and Lori. I'm psychoanalyzing fictional characters.
Sorry, I'm really trying to think of where I'm going to put my resignation letter right now. After that kind of take.
Straight to me, actually.
Okay. So
in my email. Hey, you've tried before.
Okay, perfect.
What a letter.
Do you remember
Lore drop.
Lore drop. See, for me, I feel like Amy isn't necessarily whining about the fact that she's in the shadow. I always took it as her whining about the fact that she has to carry the family name on her shoulders. Because while Joe could take the time to gain independence and make herself and make her own name, she was the one who had to go off to, even though she didn't, because she's kind of a quitter.
That's why I hate her, because she's a quitter.
She had to go to France. She took all those courses. She was going to marry the little basic, ugly, rich guy because it was
Fred Vaughn,
because it brought in the family money.
Right.
So I think her whining was more over the fact that she had to carry the family name.
That's so true. That's a really good point.
Thank you, I try.
Little Women is also super fall. I feel like when I think of fall, I'm like, okay, I want to watch Little Women.
I think it's perfect for the transition from fall into winter. Because they have the scene where Amy's foot is whatever it's doing as a foot, and then she's running through the snow.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's Christmas at one point.
Yeah. Because then they go and give the food to the one family.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie. But no, I feel like it's not exactly a romance. I agree there's a lot of romantic parts, but I feel like it's more based on the family and sisters. Not to say that that isn't, romantic in a way that's not everything has to be relationship romantic. Love is, love is also your family.
Yeah.
Love is, with the mother and oh my god, Laura Dern is the mom. I know that that's not what we're talking about right now, but I just love Laura Dern.
She's wonderful.
You don't love Laura Dern?
I don't know her in enough stuff.
Big Little Lies. She's really good in that. You should watch that. I think I've brought up Big Little Lies more than any other piece of media on this show.
I don't really know what to say to that, but that's fantastic to hear.
Thank you. It's Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman.
I know the first name.
Shailene Woodley, who was in The Fault in Our Stars. Talk about a good romance movie. I recently rewatched that.
I don't like it.
Why?
I don't really have any good arguments for it, but there's something about it, like, it's...
Like, you haven't liked it ever? Like, even when you were, like, a cringy little middle schooler?
Well, I haven't watched it since I was a cringy little middle schooler.
Oh, but you didn't like it then?
I didn't like it then, and it's, like, one of the...
Chill out. Don't say it like that. I didn't like it then. I believe you.
I don't like it. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. I'm not ever gonna like it. Don't try and make me like it.
Dude, you should like it.
Dude, just get over it and
just
like
get over it. Okay, but why?
I think it was just too, like, quite frankly, cringy. Even for cringy middle school me, it was too cringy. Because isn't that the one where it was the scene where he's, like he's smoking the cigarette?
Oh, that part is so bad.
So bad.
It's a metaphor, you see. You put the killing thing right between your teeth, but you don't give it the power to kill you.
That's the stupidest thing ever.
That's, like, written on my brain. No, I rewatched it, like, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, because my friend from Texas was up, and we were really in a romantic movie, like, mood. So that's why I also wanted to do this podcast, because I've just been thinking about it a lot recently. And I realized that I could probably recite that movie. Like, I watched it so many times as a kid. Also, it's weird when they make out in the Anne Frank house.
That was wild.
That was wild.
That was fantastically wild. I feel like the whole film
And everyone clapped, too. They made out in the Anne Frank attic, and then everyone clapped.
I don't remember the clapping. I don't remember the clapping.
They did. And everyone... Like the end of a Tumblr story.
Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
Thanks.
I'm there with you. Leading into that whole Tumblr thing, he gives off Tumblr vibes. He gives off cringy, like...
The movie was, like, all of Tumblr in 2014.
And
like,
I
it makes
hated
sense.
it. And I hated it. It gave off him being all like, I listen to the Beatles, but you probably wouldn't be able to know any of their songs because, like, they're super underground. Like, okay. That's the vibes he gave off.
I don't know if that's Ansel Elgort vibes. I feel like that's, like, overall John Green vibes. Like, any book that you've read by John Green is, like, just a little messed up. Just, like, a little bit too Tumblr. Like, he thought he was really cool, like, in high school and, like,
But
college.
the thing is,
he was in a
love
garage
John
band,
Green.
for sure.
Oh, he would have been in a garage band. I could feel that in my bones.
Oh, yeah. He was at a co-op, like, just banging it out on a bass, for sure.
At the co-op.
And was super annoying afterwards. I did want to talk about romantic books as well, because I've been really, I was about to say recently, I've always been into romance novels, and, you know, English major. Do you have any romance novels that you want to recommend?
I don't read any literature.
Oh.
So, going into romance novels, I'm not sure if this would be
Speak.
categorized. It's a good thing you're telling me to speak because I can't read or write.
True.
Thank you.
Keep going.
I'm not sure if it's categorized as a romance. I don't know if it's a romance novel, but I love Good Girls Guide to Murder. I just finished the entire series.
Oh, isn't it like a Netflix thing now?
It's the Netflix thing now with that one girl who is in Wednesday.
Yeah.
Not Wednesday, but Wednesday's like colorful friend.
Yes.
And she like plays Pip, which is the main character, and it's basically like Pip's kind of Eucor.
Really?
She has a podcast in the second book.
Oh, not even in the first one? Okay, good.
In the second and third book, she's got a podcast. Different from you, only a little bit. She's exploring murders as opposed to weekly happenings.
Okay.
Only a little different, though. Only a little bit different. And she falls in love with this boy named Ravi Singh. And his whole thing was his brother was claimed to be a murderer in the first book. And then they, like, proved his brother's innocence. And then they fell in love.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Oh! I hope you guys can read. Wait, can't read. And then you won't be able to read the book, and then it's fine. I didn't spoil anything. Unless they listen to an audiobook, then we're screwed.
Sorry, guys. Anyways, continue.
But yeah, then they fall in love, and they're super cute because he's like he's super cute and funny, and I'm super funny, so it works well. I would, if he were a real character.
Here's a good question about romance novels and movies. do you like pick your favorites based on like if this person would be your type in a movie? Or like, I feel like that's so like, I feel like most people do that. Like, I feel like that's not like a hot take. But I was like, that's such a funny thing that like if someone's not our type, like, oh, this movie sucks. Like, this book sucks. But like, if that's your type, you're gonna be super into that like movie and like novel.
When I was younger, I originally hated Hunger Games because I didn't find any of the guys cute, and then I realized
Josh Hutcherson. Okay, let's put some respect on Josh Hutcherson's
I don't think
name.
he's cute. Hot take.
Even now? In FNAF? There were some...
I want that quoted. Even now, you don't think he's cute in FNAF? You even used the shortened version of it. You couldn't even say Five Nights at Freddy's.
In FNAF? Well, there was just so many edits of him after the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
I do think I have one edit of him saved on my TikTok from the FNAF movie.
There we go. You think. She knows.
No.
What do you mean? You just pulled that out.
Everybody has saved.
I think I maybe have one.
I mean, I guess I might have like one edit, that one specific
one
edit
or
that
two
went
or
viral.
12.
Or maybe an entire folder.
It's the one to Ride by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yes.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I have that one saved, I think. But I don't think he's cute. That was just on a whim.
I just did that because I never
like, why not?
posted it and like watch it every day and like whatever.
Yeah, I wake up and then I go to bed and I just watch it on repeat for 5 minutes.
It's like,
and then I go to bed. I'm like, this is good.
This is nice. Just a way to unwind.
But I hated Hunger Games as a kid because I didn't find... And then I realized I found girls cute too, and then I found Katniss cute.
You're like, wait.
I was like, wait, she's kind of cool. So then I liked it because I found Katniss cute.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, I hated it.
I hated Gale so much just because I wanted to punch him in the face. That almost turned me off of it. And then it was like, PETA season.
See, I never watched... I didn't read the series yet because I'm, as we've already prefaced, illiterate as an English major. And so when I watched the film, because I watched the films before I read the books, and I watched like the first one, and I was like, oh, none of them are cute, but I guess like I can get on Team Gale at the very least.
That's insane.
And then I found out he killed Prim. Spoiler,
guys! Spoiler.
If you
this
haven't
one's been out for a while.
If
you don't know the
gotten
Hunger
around
Games.
to it, you don't know. Maybe there's 2-year-olds watching this podcast, listening to it, that haven't
They should
watched
not.
Hunger Games.
We said how horny our college campuses.
You just said it again.
If you're two,
The 2-year-olds
if you're
just had
2
to hear that
years
again.
old, like get out of here, dude. Get some parental controls on that. Like, swipe out. Anyways,
Back on it.
I know that we also want to talk about romantic tropes that we found not good, or like romance movies that were like, this is like a weird trope. Did you have any?
So I mentioned it, liking it earlier. 13 Going on 30 is a really weird movie.
It is weird.
You've got a 13-year-old girl in the body of a 30-year-old woman, and Mark Ruffalo kisses said 13-year-old, but technically 30-year-old girl. That's, I hate to say it, really peculiar.
I hate to say it, guys.
Also, the scene in 13 Going on 30 where, I forget what his name was, but he was the one office guy that 30-year-old her was cheating, like he was cheating on his wife with her, and then he came onto her in the office, and she was like, ew, get off of me. You're 13, don't know if you know, even if you're in a 30-year-old body. Like, that's just the idea of it, and the idea of them acting that out is so weird to me.
That is so weird.
What do you think?
Being mentally 13 isn't cool.
Yeah, get over that.
I think that sums it up pretty well. I don't know. I'm gonna say something. I don't really love that movie all that much. I don't really like Jennifer Garner as an actress. And that's all I have to say. And I don't know, like, I feel like she's like, she's just kind of like millennial core. She's not even millennial, she's older than that, but I don't know, there's something about her that's like giving not that.
Okay, so I hate that take, but I'll let it happen, I suppose.
I hate that take.
I guess it's okay if it happens once or twice.
I'm gonna talk about a romantic trope that I hate. And like, destined soulmates, like, in the face of anything. So, like, The Notebook.
That's where I was gonna go next.
Because, like, just first of all, I rewatched The Notebook, right, when I was, me and my friend we were in the mood for a little romance movie, and she was like, we should rewatch The Notebook, because I remember hating it, and I was like, I remember hating it, and she's like, what if it got good? I'm like, why would that happen? But we did it anyways, and didn't realize that they only knew each other for 3 months in, like, their senior year of high school, and now they're gonna cheat on their romantic partners to be with each other.
It's so... The Notebook, my best friend, Abby, loves The Notebook. She thinks it's, like, the best film ever.
That's insane.
It's weird. Like, she made me watch it. You're telling me he's, like, swinging off the top of the Ferris wheel, threatening to, like, just drop if she doesn't go on the date with him, and everybody was like, oh my god, that's so sweet.
Oh my god, that's so cute. He's
what?
Like, someone help him. I will say Ryan Gosling is very pretty in that movie.
Well, yeah, but that's Ryan Gosling.
Right, that's just like his face.
That's how he always is. You can't really... I think it's just a weird film.
No, I think it's weird. I just hate that they cheat on their partners. James Marsden is way too nice to Rachel McAdams. Yeah. And cheating should not be condoned.
Not technically a movie, but Gilmore Girls, when Rory makes... Dean?
Yeah.
Dean cheats on his wife with Roy.
Yeah. Insane.
But I think everybody, like, hates on that enough. Like, I think
I feel we are not original to be like,
yeah, I think people already
Rory.
have been like, hey, cheating on your partner is kind of bad, Rory.
Well, and she's just, like, fully in her, like, flop era at that time anyways.
I don't like her.
Like, dropping out of Yale and stuff.
Her and I have beef over that.
No, literally. I didn't watch Gilmore Girls until my freshman year of college. Mm-hmm. And then I was watching it, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to be a journalism and political science major. And I'm like, I didn't, like, I hope that no one thinks that, like, I was trying to be like Roy. Like, I hope that no one's like, oh my god, she's so cringe. Like, really? That's your choice of major? And I'm like,
okay, Roy.
And I'm also, like, the only child of a single mother.
Oh.
Like, there's a little bit too many similarities there for people to be like, oh, like, it was just a coincidence. And I'm like, it was. I had never watched Gilmore Girls.
That's
before.
what they all say.
This is me actually just trying to convince people that I'm not like
guys,
weird.
I swear, I'm not like Rory.
I'm not like Rory, guys. But, Jessie in that show.
Which one's Jessie again?
The hot one.
Okay, they were
After Dean.
Blonde?
No.
Okay.
The one that...
He's the one that was, what's his name's, like, nephew?
Yes.
Beautiful. Also, love the scene where, what's his name, throws Jessie into the lake.
Yeah.
That was good. That was fantastic.
Good.
Cinematography.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Us just having no knowledge and just talking, right? You know what's his name in this part of the episode and this...
The poor 2-year-olds aren't going to be able to catch on for this one. They're going to be so confused.
They're going to be so confused. But talking about the Destined Soulmates, in a movie that Ryan Gosling is in as well, La La Land is the perfect version of this because they are so soulmates, and then, spoiler alert, guys, they don't end up together in the end, but they just let live, bro. He has his business, she has a kid and a husband. If it was the Notebook style of movie, they would break up their families and their dreams to be with each other, but that's not realistic. In La La Land, they just go their separate ways at the end.
I don't like La La Land.
Whoa, why? Because it's too sad. That's why my mom doesn't like it. She refuses to watch it with me.
Yeah, it's too emo, number one. Number two, it's too close to Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield for me. Like, did you see the scene where they were like, not the scene, it was a real life moment, Gabby. It wasn't a scene. Where they're at the award show and like, I think it was she got an award and then Andrew was like, and she was like, yeah, they're too close to Andrew and Emma for me to actually enjoy it.
Did you see that Andrew Garfield is doing the interview with the chicken shop lady and they're in love, dude? I'm so excited.
I'm so excited
also,
for that.
Did you see him crying his eyes out on the Modern Love podcast? He's like reading this like love poem and the podcast host is like, what hit for you, Andrew? And he's like, it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's my British accent. And he was like crying. He was like, I'm in love with him. That's like my number one celebrity crush, I think.
I think.
Which is kind of crazy because he's like 45.
Okay, well.
Whatever.
I've really got no excuse, but if I had an excuse, it would be a really good one for why it's okay for Andrew to date either of us. So, I think
Guys,
he's number one for me.
Call us. Except he's gonna fall in love with the chicken shop lady, and that's like second best for me.
That's
if
what
he
I
isn't
said.
in love with me, he should be with her.
You know what? If he's on the Chicken Shop podcast, I think he needs to come to Houselights.
To the Houselights podcast. Yes.
Andrew, if you're seeing this,
hit us up. You know how I usually do like a tangent in the beginning of the episode? I forgot to make one, but I just came up with one at the end. Do you mind if I tell you a little quick quip about my life?
go about it.
This is my random tangent at the end. We're switching it up, you know? My mom really loved Challengers. Isn't that crazy?
And what if we just ended it right there?
Thank you guys so much for watching Houselights. Gabby, thank you so much for coming on. And I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, you know.
Whoa. See you next week. Bye.